Why, well, welcome to Morocco and welcome back to the channel. Well, it's been a real mixed bag of a week. We leave Tafraoute, where we've been out on the bike, and it's been superb, and we head north to Marrakech. But you know that thing where there's always a little mechanical issue on the road? And I thought I left all my wheel troubles behind. Let's have a look. Right, keep talking about it. It's time to get the bike off. Oh my god. Right, there's another little job. Look at the dust on there. Well, it's to be expected, I suppose. Right, time to get this bike cleaned. Well, I couldn't have done it better myself. This guy is meticulous. Well, I was so pleased with that result with getting the bike washed. The guy did a superb job. I set off to do it myself, but the place that I normally use has since closed down, and I had to go to the next place along, and I was there for 45 minutes. The guy charged me £3.50. I gave him a fiver. He was happy. I was delighted because for 45 minutes work, you know, he did such a good job. So I've come back, I've lubed the chain, a bit of ACF 50 here and there. I've been a bit sort of sparing with that because obviously I don't want loads of dust and crap sticking to that. And I've just got to adjust the chain ever so slightly, and that's it. I'm ready to go. But first things first, it's time to walk into town for a few provisions and a coffee. The experience is a little different than Tesco's, but it's always a pleasure seeing what's on offer and interacting with people. Right, I've finally got my arse into gear. I've got some warm soapy water, and it's time to give the cab a bit of a swab. Well, it's not immaculate, but it is significantly better than what it was, so I think that's me for this morning. Guys, good morning. Well, it is time for a little hike. Oh, it is ready? I
am ready, yeah.
Good.
Well, yeah, looking forward to getting out and exercising my legs.
Do you know, I just love this place for the bouldering. I mean, look at that. It's just spectacular.
Needs holding up.
And you got these big precarious slabs, I mean, just everywhere. There we are. Is you feeling all pleased with yourself?
Just got to get down now.
Oh, it is. Enjoy that.
I did actually, yeah. Yeah, I'm not a mountain goat like you, but yeah, I did enjoy it.
Good.
Felt good to be out. Be even better when I have a BLT for lunch.
I know. Oh,
all the makings of it there. Cheap white bread, little bacon. Then we've got a bit of lettuce in the fridge.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
And the all-important mayo.
Right, well, the bacon is on, but I'm just going to pop around the corner and show you our neighbours who turned up last night. So it's a French family in a really cool rig, and they've got 3 grown-up kids, a couple of motorbikes on the back, and they've got a pod on the roof you can sort of see the pod that sort of pops up as a double bed. And yeah, it's a cool rig. They're actually sat on top now just having a drink on a couple of deck chairs. I think I'd rather have the solar myself, but yeah, there we go. Oh, that is a treat.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Well, we might have finished work years ago and living life on the road, but we still recognise Sunday. Sunday morning was always tea and toast for us, and it still is. And it's quite nice actually just to have a slow Sunday morning, some tea and toast, read the news, and just have a bit of a chill really. We're heading out on the bike this morning for a little spin, just for a couple of hours. The weather is just perfect for it. It's not too hot, so I think we're going to go out, grab a coffee somewhere and just see the countryside, because it is absolutely stunning here.
Alright?
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
Right, just getting sorted out, get the bike parked up. Time to have a coffee. Alright, how's that?
It's absolutely delicious. It's got cumin on it. I would never have put cumin on an omelette. That's lovely.
I tell you what, it's breezy.
Yeah, it is breezy. It's quite cold.
Yeah. And this is the great thing about the bike. It allows us to get places we can't get in the truck. But equally, we can't cross the desert on the bike, so there's pros and cons to both. We got back to the truck and it's time for a proper cup of tea. Right, it's time. It's time to get the solar panels cleaned. Now, I know lots of people have sort of said, for God's sake, clean your solar panels. And yeah, they have been filthy for some time, and that's because the weather has been, excuse me, so hit and miss. You know, we've had a little bit of rain, it's been really windy and it's kicked up the dust. And to be honest with you, the reason I haven't been in a hurry to clean them is because we've got just over 2,000 watts on the roof, and we're still pulling in 1,500. We're topping the batteries out by about 11 o'clock in the morning, which is just incredible. So yeah, they're doing a really good job, but nonetheless, it still affects the yield. So this morning, I'm going to break the sponge out and get them cleaned. Okay, we're just getting packed up. Our time in Tafraoute has come to an end, and it has been fantastic.
We've been on holiday.
We've really enjoyed it. Don't say that.
Well, we have.
People get the wrong idea. It has been amazing, and I haven't filmed much, in fairness, because it's probably a bit boring really for, you know, we've been out and about on the bike and we've been out hiking and, you know, sitting having coffee, and it has just been a bit of respite really from kind of full-time travel, if you like, and you know, we've catching up a bit of work as well, so it's been lovely, and we love this place.
We do.
But it's time to go, and it's getting really warm. It's sort of 26, 27 degrees today. I'm looking forward to having
the aircon on.
I'm looking forward to the drive because honestly, this area, it's spectacular.
It is.
So anyway, enough chat.
Time to go.
Let's get on the road. Okay, first things first, a drop of fuel. Fuel in the mountains is usually a bit more expensive. Today it's 11.74 Moroccan dirhams, which is about 96 pence a litre at today's exchange rate. As we crawl out of Tafraoute, you can't help but be in awe of that rugged landscape. Look closely and you'll spot villages blended into the mountainside. So we've been driving about an hour and a half today. And honestly, I'm not exaggerating when I say I think we've seen 4 cars.
Yeah.
The roads are just empty. That is spectacular, isn't it?
Yes. There's water down there.
Yeah.
Good to see.
So we just stopped here for a little leg stretch. I'm just taking the view. It is absolutely incredible here. There's a little bit of wind, but there's no other noise. There's nobody about. After a few hours driving, we pull off a quiet road where we'll spend the night. Right, well that was a really simple, straightforward little stop.
It was.
Definitely no frills, but it was really quiet last night. There was no wind, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
And we're heading down to Agadir this morning. We're actually only about 35-40 minutes from Agadir. We're actually going down to Carrefour, get some food shopping, but actually right beside Carrefour, and I mean literally right beside, there's an MAN dealership. And we're going to go down and see if we get the truck booked in for a little bit of work. We have a little oil leak, and we've had it for a little while, and a coolant leak. You can see what the coolant leak is. It's one of the rubber hoses. It's only natural. It's, you know, it's an old truck. It's obviously perished along the way, and it's just it's not even a leak, it's just a tiny little sort of seepage. You know, I'd rather just get it replaced, so we'll go down there, see if we get the part ordered.
I think it might be more cost effective to have it done here than back in the UK.
Yeah, and maybe just get the truck sort of checked over and go from there really. So that's the plan. Right, there's the MAN dealership on the right.
Continue for 150 meters.
There's a horse and cart in the garage.
Turn right. Turn right toward Avenue Araha, then turn right onto Avenue Araha.
Well, that's a bummer, it's closed. So yesterday was a bank holiday.
I think today is as well, but I think most of the commercial places seem to be open, but yeah, it's not looking so good. Turn right.
No, they're closed. Damn. Okay,
Right. Well,
back to the drawing board, back to Carrefour. We park up beside a few other overlanders, a mix of old and older, then head off to do a bit of food shopping. Right, got a bit of a problem. I looked at one of the tyres and thought that looks a bit soft. Checked it, and it was indeed soft. So we normally run them at about 6.5 bar, and it was actually 4 bar. So I thought, well, it's lost air, so I crawled underneath, and 2 of the bolts on the actual wheel on the inside have sheared off. They've either sheared off or I've hit something like a big rock, was going off-road, which is very possible, and I'm missing 2 bolts, so which means that I'm going to have to drop the spare, take 2 off that, and try and get another 2 from somewhere. They're quite specialised, so I think I might have to go back to the company wrecking in the Netherlands and try and get some, so we'll see. We decided to return to the MAN dealership tomorrow, so we find a spot for the night. Well guys, good morning. Well, good morning. Do you know what? Despite all the odds, we had a really good night's sleep here. We're in a gravel car park, surrounded by flats, and we thought, oh my god, it's going to be a hideous night's sleep.
We thought we might have all the lads on the scooters coming past, but half past 10, it just...
Yeah. Do you know what? No barking dogs, no hassle, no nothing, and I slept all the way through. So, there you go. It just goes to show you sometimes.
Yeah. So we're off to the tyre shop this morning.
We are. So, see, I know how to treat you.
You do. Come to Agadir and, let's just go to all the industrial areas.
So there you go. So, despite all the sort of, right, that's it, you know, we bought new wheels, we bought new tyres, and, you know, we're not going to have any hassle with, you know, wheels on this truck. Here we are. Although, in fairness, you know, the tyre isn't damaged.
No. It doesn't help that I've got a deadline as well. I have to fly out of Marrakech on Friday. I'm dog sitting for my parents for 2 weeks. And that's non-negotiable. So, as always, we're up against it, trying to get something sorted out.
Anyway.
Let's go.
Let's get on the road. We eventually find a decent tyre shop capable of dealing with larger wheels, and we set to. I dropped the lift to remove the spare wheel, and although the bike doesn't have to be removed, it makes life a bit easier, so I pull it off. Hello, Misha. Hello. You good? Good. Okay. After a bit more explaining, I raised the lift to access the wheels and create a bit more working space. Okay, so after the 3rd garage, we finally got a place whereby they understand the wheels. It took a bit of explaining. Nobody speaks English. Yeah, probably about 20 minutes here of trying to explain what I was looking for. They've got it. So basically three studs out of the spare, put into the original, put the original back on, and yeah, hopefully that's us. So yeah, what a faff though. Okay, meanwhile, back at the office. All right, it is?
Yeah. You?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Are they doing it?
Yeah, no, they're okay. They're good guys.
Good.
So we're making progress, but oh my god, it took a lot of explaining. They've never seen these wheels before, clearly. But they get it. I mean, you know, once you understand them, you're like, right, okay, they're actually really simple. So, but it's just like everything, it's just time.
Yeah. And we're on a bit of a deadline because...
Well, I've got to get to Marrakech, really. So,
but we'll go from here back to the MAN dealership, see if we can get something booked in for when we get back.
Yeah.
Or when I get back and we leave Marrakech.
Yeah.
And then we have a big drive up today.
But this is just typical of life on the road, really.
Yeah.
You know, quite often you've got nowhere to go. You're in no hurry. There's no issue.
Yes,
you've got all the time in the world, and then suddenly, you know, everything comes at once. You're like, shit, we've got a deadline. We've got
really true,
a bit of an issue, actually. So
yeah.
That's happened so many times to us. So anyway, I've left the guys to it. Yeah, we'll see.
Time for a cup of tea, maybe.
Possibly. Okay. Right, back to work, you.
Yep, okay. Back at it.
Whilst the guys finish off checking the rest of the wheels, I bolt up the spare. Right, wheel is sorted, so it's time to get the bike back on, get the rack up, get on our way. Right, we are back at the MAN dealership. And the team here wastes no time checking it out. Well, that is pretty bad. Well, we've decided to crack on today. Hopefully we'll get to our little campsite before it gets dark. We've got about another at least 40 minutes before we get there.
And it's dark in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be a close call, I think, but we decided, right, let's just get there. And at least we've got the whole day tomorrow to sort ourselves out.
Turn left onto P208.
Right, so we're just on the outskirts of Marrakech. You would think the roads would be really good, but they're not.
No, except it feels like we're back.
There's more, honestly, the main roads, there's more holes you shake a stick at. I mean, maybe we just got a bit unlucky there. Well, our plan is to never get somewhere, arrive somewhere in the dark, especially not Marrakech. Right, is anyone at home? Can we even fit in? Well guys, good morning. Well, we are finally here at the campsite. We actually got here just before it was dark last night, which was okay. I think it's a French run campsite. It's, do you know what, we just got here, the lady got the situation. She said, just get parked up, give us your passport. Yeah, fine, we'll sort out in the morning. So that's what we've done. We've just sort of parked up, but we can't stay here because we're obviously leaving the truck effectively in storage. Then we have to move it, and we're both heading on tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that kind of works for us.
But we got all that sorted out this morning. But
that's that. But first of all, let's go back to the MAN dealership and all of the whole
It was a bit of an expensive day yesterday, unexpectedly.
We had a bit of a day actually. It was a long day in fairness. Right, so we got the wheel sorted out. Right, battery went in the camera. Sorry about that. Yeah, exactly. Right, I didn't talk much yesterday about the whole wheel thing, but we ended up going from garage to garage, well, tyre shop really, to tyre shop. And because of the bolted wheels, they're not familiar with them, and they just sort of went, oh no, no, and they were lots of, you know, scratching heads, and people just didn't want to sort of take on the work, I suppose. Until we got to sort of the one good place, and they were brilliant. So that was that. And
it cost 70 dirhams, which is about £5.50 or something, for them to take the wheels off, swap the bolts over, put the wheel back on, check out the air in all the tyres.
Yeah.
And that seems to have done the trick. So this morning the tyre is fine. Have you checked it this morning?
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
I was saying that. Yeah, so I think it probably was the fact that the bolts weren't clamping it all together properly.
Yeah, there's a little seal in there. I'll explain a bit more when I get out there. But yeah, so that seems to be sorted, which is good. And then obviously the MAN dealership.
Which apparently was open the day before, although it didn't look very open.
Yeah, no. I mean, the gates were closed and...
Yeah, the door was closed.
There was no
sign
sign
of
of
lights on.
And anyway, we do have to go back there. But yesterday, the guys were good. Same again, labour charges here are so cheap.
Yeah.
So, well, we left it there for a couple of hours. We went and had some lunch. And what was the labour charge?
310 dirhams, so about £25. So they fix the leak on the coolant.
No, hold on. 325 dirhams.
310 dirhams.
Yeah, isn't £25.
It's about £25.
Oh, it is. Sorry, yes.
Come on, Kelly.
It is, yeah. So yeah, I mean, the same again. You know, if you can imagine sort of going to a truck garage in the UK and having a couple of hours work done.
Well, their hourly rate is 260 dirhams an hour, which is about £19.
Yeah, for an official MAN dealership, that is incredible.
Yeah.
So, but we do have to go back. So the oil leak, we need basically we need a rocker gasket. So they've got to order that in, and
some very expensive bits of rubber.
A few of the little seals. So, which is fine because ultimately, it's a lot of it is labour, and so you're saving on the labour charges.
So they're giving us a quote. So they reckon it will take 3 hours. And altogether it's 5,600 dirhams, which is about £450.
So yeah, still a big chunk of money.
But I don't think you'd get the parts cheaper in Europe, and you certainly wouldn't get the labour cheaper. So.
Most of that, honestly, if you look at the labour charge on that piece of work.
Oh, it's tiny. Most of that. So the labour element of that is 780 dirhams, the rest is parts.
So 750 quid.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
50 quid thereabouts for the labour.
Yeah.
To replace a rocker gasket and a few seals.
And they say they can get somebody to come and look at the door. We've got a bit of an issue with the door lock as well.
Yeah.
It's not a massive issue.
On the passenger side, the barrel's a bit sort of funny, really. So yeah. Now, all in all, it was a good day. But the plan is to go back there in just over 2 weeks' time to get the work done. We are booked in.
Yeah.
And that's it, really. So.
I think but I do think if we'd have been able to stay and have the work done today, they would have been able to do it.
Oh, they would have
today.
done it. That was the incredible thing.
That was that.
Just to turn up and for the guys to go, straight in, bay 2, park in there, you know. So anyway, so that was that. Right, I think my next job is to get the bike off.
And then we need to start getting packed, really.
And then get packed up. So it's exciting.
It is.
Come on, let's go.
Can't wait to spend 2 weeks without you.
Thanks. Right, the wheels. So what you have is basically you've got a steel rim. So you've got the rim itself, and then you've got the retaining plate. Now obviously the rim slips over the wheel hub, alright, and then you've got the studs to retain that and keep the wheel actually on. And then you've got 20 individual bolts, and they're quite specific. It's just not a standard bolt. And that keeps on this retaining plate. And behind this retaining plate is a one-piece rubber seal, and what happens is when you put this retaining plate on and put the bolts on, that basically pulls it together, compresses that rubber seal to create a seal, because it's a tubeless tyre, and if you didn't have a rubber seal then obviously it there would come out. But clearly what's happened here is we've obviously lost a number of bolts for whatever reason, and that's released the pressure on this plate, allowing some of the air to very slowly escape. And that's pretty much it. So each wheel is rated at 10,000 kilograms, so they are very heavy duty, and that's pretty much it. It is simple, but for a lot of people they go, oh, you know, how does that work? But you know, there is just nothing to it. So that's it. I just wanted to share with you what was left of the 3 bolts that are actually damaged. So they've clearly been sheared off. You can see there's a little indentation that goes through the middle of them, and that's for a split pin. They're not the sort of thing that you're going to pick up in the average DIY store, so yeah, hence the reason to go back to the supplier back in the Netherlands. Well, there's a real mix of vehicles here. There's overlanders, campers, motorhomes, you name it, it's all here. So let's go out for a little walk. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for all the support on the channel, and join me next week when I finally jump on the bike for my very own little solo adventure. Bye for now.